Waiting on the troops. What up? What up? What's up, all those late night folks? Join us on the late night motivation. Give you guys some good stuff real quick. What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Nicholas? How are you? Man, just waiting on a few more people to join us. It's what we usually do. We give it about 3 to 5 minutes or so for people to hop on, for them to be aware that there's actually a live stream happening right now. Steal their attention from something that they're watching, or steal their attention from something else they were looking at on the internet. We're here though, late night motivation, helping people get to the next level in life and in business. I think it's important. I found out that that's my niche. So I wanted to flow with it and focus on it and keep doing it. So that's why we're doing these late night motivation. Tonight, we're going to get a little bit deeper into exposure. We talked about why education, why exposure and experience, those three things alone in any aspect of your life are extremely important to allow you to have those breakthroughs that you're looking for. I think that naturally, that's what we're looking for. Every day we're looking for breakthroughs. Every day we wake up praying, wishing that we would get a breakthrough, that we would get a thought, that we get a new idea, that somebody would walk into our lives and help us get to the next level, a breakthrough. We're all looking for that breakthrough. And if we stay the course and just simply stay focused and have faith, that breakthrough will come, especially for those who are in entrepreneurship. It's important for you to stay the course. It's important for you to keep working and creating those breakthroughs. Breakthroughs don't just happen overnight, right? They just don't happen to people who aren't putting in effort. You got to be putting forth effort, whether it's putting ideas together, going and getting into action. You have to go into action to get those breakthroughs. We're not even talking about that tonight. We're going to talk about exposure. We're going to break exposure down into 3 different levels tonight. The first 2 are just something to gear you up for the third one. And I think the third one is the most important because there's 3 types of exposure. But before we get there, my name is Mike Williams. I've been an internet marketer since 2008, I believe. Since 2008, been an internet marketer, network marketer. I've been in various different companies. Now I have a primary company, have my own company, but I'm also an officer of the law recently during the day. So I have a lot of different hats. I'm a father, I'm a husband. So I stay busy. My days are long, but I enjoy it. I enjoy everything that I do. And my goal here is to, help people have those natural breakthroughs that they're looking for by just giving them some extra tips and tricks that, they can apply in life, that they can apply in business or whatever they're looking for. Okay, so that's my goal. That's what I'm looking for you guys to have those breakthroughs. And, it's cool that the internet, Facebook, creates these platforms that you can do this stuff, right? That you can actually do this stuff and help people across the world. And I've been doing it since 2008 and I absolutely love it. So if you're an entrepreneur, this is definitely for you, because entrepreneurs, we have our struggles. If you're not an entrepreneur, you're looking to be an entrepreneur, this is definitely from you. If you're just somebody that's looking for some insight on, how to get out of what they're in, this is for you too. All right. So the last couple of days, yesterday we broke down education, the three levels of education and why education is so important. Tonight we're going to talk about exposure. There's various different parts of exposure. There's molding exposure. Molding exposure is, when you're being exposed things either consciously or subconsciously. So this is usually in the childhood area, right? As we're growing up, we're exposed to certain things. Some things that we're not even aware of. I don't know if you can relate, but, growing up as a kid, maybe, a bill collector was calling your home and you were trained to say, this person is not here. This person does not live here. You have the wrong number, right? And then growing up, later on in my life, I started doing the same thing to my collectors. You got the wrong number. This person is not here, right? And, subconsciously I learned that. That was something that I learned, Thank God that we're not doing that today, but it was learned, and it's something I had to unlearn in order to catapult and get to the next level in life, right? There's a lot of other things, people dealing with alcoholism, drug addiction, and so forth and so on. Subconsciously, they were exposed to that stuff, assuming that was right. Right? And not having any other influences come into your life, you get trapped and you go down that circle. You get into that rut, right? And those things start to happen. But naturally, You can get out of it once you get get into the right exposure sequence. And that's going to be the second thing we talk about, which is inspirational exposure. I'll talk about that in a second. But also you have exposure consciously. When we're talking about molding exposure, molding you, molding your character, molding your personality, right? There's also conscious stuff that you engaged in. So for example, as a kid, I worked at McDonald's. So consciously, I naturally started a working mentality at the age of 14, right? I had a job at 14. I worked throughout high school, right? So I'm creating a working mentality, a working consciousness that I'm like, I gotta have a job, right? So I've always had a job. I've always had income coming in. I've always had it because I've been focusing on it since I was between 12 and 14 years old. Even when I would cut lawns and do gutters for people, I was subconsciously and consciously setting myself up for a working future. All right, deep stuff. Hope I ain't too deep, guys. Let me know where you're watching us from. Type it down in the comments. Where are you watching us from? If you got any questions, throw them in there. If you got any insight, throw them in there. I like engagement. Okay, so the more engagement we get, the more excited I get, and the more content I deliver to you guys. The second thing is inspirational exposure. Okay, so what's inspirational exposure? Back in 2013, when I had my biggest year on the internet in 2013, I started off my year in January. I spent my last few dollars. I went to a internet marketing mastermind in Miami. So I go down to Miami. And in Miami, we stayed in a $9 million mansion. It was several different, what up, Bill from Minnesota? It was several different people living, staying in this mansion for, several days throughout the conference and the mastermind, okay? I went down there on my last dime. Now, I'm in Miami, $9 million mansion. I couldn't afford to actually pay for a room in the mansion. So I had to sleep on the couch, which I was cool with. Sleeping on the couch in a $9 million mansion in its living room. The living room was bigger than anything that I had ever seen in my life. So I was cool with sleeping on the couch. I had my clothes here. I had my little rolling bag of clothes was next to the couch, and I let people know that's my space right there. Right? That's my space. Watch out, that's my stuff. And I was cool with that. But this is what I was exposed to. I was exposed to a $9 million mansion, walking through this thing, right? Videoing through it, taking pictures through it. I had those aha moments like, you know what? This is somebody's reality. Somebody is actually waking up in a $9 million mansion. It's their reality, right? So when you get exposed to something like that, you start thinking like, man, I got work to do. I got to put in some work. Last couple of days, I've been sweating on these things, so I got me a little rag now. So I'm like, yo, I got work to do. So I'm in this $9 million mansion. I'm looking at the views. From the hot tub was inside of the pool, and the pool overlooked the ocean. And then there's a strip here of cars, and there were cars, exotic cars that I had never seen before in my life. I couldn't even mention the names to you. That's how nice and elegant it was. But it was a moment. It was an inspirational moment, right? It was inspirational exposure, letting me know like, man, I got work to do. I gotta go hard, right? So you just finished your workout. You're crazy, Graham. Slicks nuts. But you have to do those different things. And back in 2008, I read a book by Tim Ferriss. It's called The 4-Hour Workweek. And Tim Ferriss says, not only do you need physical vision, right? Not only do you need mental vision of what you want, you also need physical vision of what you want. So what I went down, at the time, I had like a 1997 Mitsubishi Galant. The window was broken on the driver's side. It had no heat in it. It was bad, right? So I walked into the Bentley dealership. I remember I had tan shorts, had white socks and flip-flops, had a red shirt. Missouri, what's happening, Taylor? And I go into the Bentley dealership, and the guy's looking at me like, what the hell are you here for? I let the guy know I want to see a metallic blue Maserati Quattroporte with buttercream seats. This is what I tell him. He actually walked me over to one. And I sat in this thing, and the seats hugged me. It's kind of like the seat I'm sitting in now, right? The seats just hugged you. And I saw how up close, how big the tires were, how beautiful the engine was, how deep the back seat was. And it was a freaking sports car. And then I wanted the numbers. I wanted to know all the numbers. I wanted to know all the details. Even if I purchased a 2006 metallic blue Maserati Quattroporte today, that's still a dope car. right? I think it was like 50 grand or 60 grand at the time because it was 2008, it was 2 years old. It was probably 50, 60 grand, which ultimately isn't a lot of money when you break down the numbers. You just gotta, go hard and get the numbers. But the point is, you still need physical vision and you need mental vision. You gotta know what you want. You gotta know what you want. You gotta know the cost of it. You gotta know the details of having it. And like I said last night, if your work ethic isn't equivalent to the things that you want, then you might need to change your wants up a little bit, or boost up your work ethic and start working a little harder, working a little smarter, right? Doing some things that's going to bring you the revenue, the income, the profits that's going to allow you to buy the things that you want. But you got to have that physical vision and mental. Physical and mental vision. You got to have it. It's necessary. Every single day, I do what's called a perpetual state of inspiration. So I wake up and I focus on vision, on vision, on vision, on vision, exactly what I want. It gets me pumped for the day, right? It helps me to kind of design my day in a sense. So I don't want to go outside like, I gotta go hit the beat. I gotta shoot these videos. No. I get my mind worked up so I can make sure I'm delivering and performing to the best of my ability. So you got to constantly get in a perpetual state of inspiration. And what that means is, you don't wait for the late night motivation to get pumped. Right? You don't wait for somebody to get into your ear and get you pumped, right? You don't wait for something something lucky to happen to you to get you pumped. You naturally get yourself in that state of inspiration, not motivation, inspiration. Motivation is temporary. Inspiration is long lasting. And when you train yourself, your mind, to walk out the door in that perpetual state of inspiration, your day will be drastically different from the rest of your days. I'm telling you. That's what it's all about, especially if you're in a sales environment. We gotta stay pumped, because when we're talking to people, we're hearing no all day long, right? We're hearing, I don't know, I'm not sure, I don't have all the money, I don't have the time. You're hearing all these different excuses every day, and it could drain you, literally. It can drain the life out of you if you let it. But if you constantly stay in this perpetual state of inspiration, you will naturally be able to do what you do best. Okay. The third thing of exposure is called projectile exposure. A little different. What is projectile, right? Projectile, what do you think of? You think of a missile. You think of something that's being shot, something that's moving forward. And that's exactly what projectile exposure is. Progressive forward moving, right? Progressive forward moving exposure. What does that mean? You're action taking. Okay. You're in business, you're in sales. People got to know what you do. A lot of people got to know what you do. You got to make sure a lot of people know what you do in order for you to be good at selling it, right? You got to speak to a lot of people, because everybody naturally, there's probably 7 different excuses that they all have. You do it enough, you speak to enough people, you expose yourself enough people, you have forward moving action, you have enough forward moving action that you're going to have an answer for every excuse. You're going to have a rebuttal for every excuse, right? You're going to have a thought for every excuse. You're going to be able to close more when you're taking more action. You got to, right? You got to. Projectile exposure, moving forward, getting it done, right? Not looking backwards, just moving forward. Right now I'm building a company. I'm building a brand new company. I decided to drop my last website, Self-Driven Profit System. I actually got it on the market right now to sell, and I'm selling it. I'm selling that system, and I'm creating a brand new company from scratch. And I'm showing people the possibilities and the example of how you can go from 0 to $1 million in the course of 12 months by just simply utilizing the internet and having a vision, having a tight enough vision and enough ambition, enough energy, right? And keeping it simple and just focusing every single day and crush and crush and crush and crush. What up, Carlos? Carlos, been looking up for Carlos since I was a kid. True salesman, corporate America. He crushes it every single day. And we're doing this. We're building this up from scratch. The Fusion Network, we're going to build it from scratch. What is the Fusion Network? The Fusion Network is going to be an online marketing and training platform, right? For the entrepreneur, for the network marketer, for the affiliate marketer, all the information you need all in one place to help you with different strategies on how you're going to market your products, how you're going to create your personal brand, right? Because that's what internet is. Naturally, everybody you look up to, they got this cool, natural personal brand, because that's what social media marketing is. That's what internet marketing is from its core. Yes, are there other aspects? Absolutely. But the personal branding piece, if you get that down, especially if you're an entrepreneur, a salesman, somebody who has something to say, you can really change your life as far as, what the internet has in store, right? So we're building a Fusion network. Thank you, Mike. Had a board presentation today and watched you the other night for motivation. That's dope. Here's a 6-figure guy watching, this motivational series. That's dope. And that's what we're looking to do. That's what we have to do. We got to give back to each other. We got to feed off of each other's energy. I think I just froze. Oh, now I'm back. But we got to feed off of each other's energy. And that's exactly what the Fusion Network is. The Fusion Network, I call it where health and wealth are one. Okay. Right now, we're just a Facebook group. That's it. But we're going to use the energy of everybody in the group to create the revenue we need, to create the profits that we need to grow the company. And we're looking for the soldiers like you, people who are up late, absorbing information like this. Who does this? Most people are watching primetime TV at this moment. You're here watching this information, absorbing this information, taking in this information so that you can go out into the marketplace and just crush. I appreciate that, right? I appreciate you for that. So the Fusion Network, once a week, I'm dropping like an hour and a half worth of marketing content, right? Stuff that I'm crafting together for the group and the group only. Okay. To get involved into to get involved in the Fusion Network, it's a one-time fee of $97. And that's now because we're in the building stage. We're setting the foundation. We're looking for those soldiers. So once you get in, you're in, right? 30 days from now, it could be a monthly fee. Right? 60 days from now, it could be multiple levels to get different access to all the different trainings. We don't know yet. All we know is we got the Fusion Network where health and wealth is one, and we're moving together as a unit, as an organization, as people who are looking to change the marketplace, change their lives, right? Get out of debt, right? Build a business, build a personal brand, right? Whatever company you in, you want to build that company up. You want to have success. You want everything that you're looking for. And that's exactly what the Fusion Network does. So going back to what we talked about tonight, and if you want to stay updated, you can text New Habits. New Habits is one word to 38470. That's New Habits to 38470. You can get on my text message sequence, and a couple of times a week I can send you some updates, inspiration, all that good stuff that you need to have at the palm of your hands. And that's just another thing, dope thing about, the cell phone and the internet. I mean, you can make money, it's in the palm of your hands, right? People are sitting on ideas, right? People are sitting on thousands of dollars a day in the palm of their hand because they're not taking the time to get educated about what's possible, the possibilities of doing something different. You got to get educated. You got to get in a circle. You got to get in a loop. If you're finding yourself sitting somewhere on a stoop in a chair, watching a show, and you're just like, yo, there's got to be more. There is more, but you got to look for it. You got to search for it. You got to open up a book right here, right behind me on this shelf here. Books for days. Just read content, absorb it, right? Absorb it. I watch Gary Vee all day long. Throw it on the TV and just let it play and let it play and let it play. You got to hear different voices of inspiration, man. You got to get motivated every single day, right? To take action, take a few steps. Even if you took 3 steps, that's cool. You took 3 steps. Tomorrow you take 6, right? Tomorrow then you take another 3, and then you take another 4. As long as you're moving forward, that's all that matters. Nobody can say anything to you. Nobody can judge you because you're working hard. And if they do judge you, that means you are doing something right. People are watching. People are watching. If people aren't watching you and talking about you, that means you're not doing too much, right? And I guarantee you're worth more than what you're getting. You deserve more than what you're getting, right? You got talent that goes beyond what anybody can do. There's talent there, but you got to dig deep. You got to get it out by getting educated and getting the experience. And that's what the Fusion Network wants to bring to the marketplace. That's what we're doing as a team, as a unit. You could go, like I said, text New Habits, that's one word, to 38470, or you can go to MikeWilliamsPro.com/7K. I'll put the link in this thread afterwards. Any questions, guys? Shout me out. Talk to me. What you need? Share this video. Share the video. Like the video. Comment on it. Right? If you enjoy this, you got to share it with somebody else. Right? Because somebody else might be able to. Somebody might really need it. Right? I get messages all the time about thank you. I needed that clarity. I needed that. I needed to hear that voice, because there's just some people who don't hear a voice of inspiration. They don't hear anybody that's in their ear coaching them to do the right thing, right? To get the job done. There's nobody coaching them. So they're stuck. They're scared. They're worried. They're fear, right? Don't know what to do. Don't know what the next steps are. Share this with somebody. Let somebody else get a taste of it. Fusion Network, that's what we're looking to do, guys. We're going from 0 to 1 million over the course of the 12 months. We're grinding every single day. I'm coming to the internet to share some value, give you guys some content, and vice versa, right? What's up? What we got? 10, 15. That was a good little segment. I don't want to keep you guys up all night because I know you got work to do. I know you got to get prepared for tomorrow. I know you got to get prepared for that sales call. I know you got to get prepared for that video you're creating. And guys, understand this. If you're in network marketing, you're in sales, you got to start asking for the money, right? You got to ask for it. Give value and ask. Give value and ask. Give value and ask. Nobody's going to not appreciate your hustle, right? Understand that. Don't worry about their opinions. Don't worry about what they think. It's all about you and creating a life for yourself. And the only way you're going to create that life is by asking for the business, by asking for the money. You got to. And if you want to go a little bit deeper than that, you got to ask your God, your universe, ask for it. Especially if you're willing to work for it, if you're willing to put in the effort, the grind, the learning, right? And part of the work is learning. Learn, implement, teach. That's all this is. Learn, implement, teach. There's something that you do every single day from 9 to 5 that you're good at. Teach it to somebody. Create an ebook. Create a video series and sell it. Right? Sell it. Ibn just got on the what up, Ibn? Man, we've been friends since little kids. Ibn is nice with cars. Why isn't he creating ebooks? Why isn't he creating videos to show people how to do certain things? The other day I YouTubed how to put a light bulb, because the left tail light was out on my Prius. I love my Prius. Don't laugh at me. I love my tan Prius, right? My right tail light was out. I Googled how to fix it. I fixed it on my own. I probably would have took to somebody who would have charged me whatever for it. I fixed it on my own. Why aren't I getting content from Ibn like that, right? My brother's on the call, Matthew. Matthew is a monster at dancing, miming, break dancing. I don't think he really break dance, but he pops and all that kind of. He's just good at it. Why aren't we getting videos, right? Why aren't I getting videos that's teaching me how to do this stuff, right? People search every day on how to do this stuff. Why aren't I getting these videos? Miss Nicole Marie, worked at her. A monster of a salesman. She'll probably disagree with me, but she actually is, right? She could be teaching people how to do what she does, right? There are people out there that are searching for your information every day. Google, YouTube, they are searching for what you already have an answer to. Right? You just have to simply learn how to be on top of that search engine, how to be on top of that YouTube stream when that person puts in those words, how to do this. You got to be some of those top videos and you got to be some of those top people on Google. You learn how to do that stuff. Killer. You could be making yourself an extra $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month, right? Maybe even a day if you really stretch your thought process on what's possible. Toyota Tech, that's dope, Ibn. How many people are actually Toyota Techs that know anything about Toyotas? Not too many. Teach them, right? Teach them. Write down a plan. It's like, what can I teach somebody? What can I teach somebody? Write that down tonight. What can I teach somebody? Let's start thinking about that. Because, I don't care how hard we work. I don't care how much money we make. When we're making wages, we're never going to make enough, right? Because as much money as we make, it's just as much as we spend. And if we don't learn how to make profits, either to supplement our income or to make profits to replace our income, if we don't learn how to make profits, we're never going to make enough to live that life that you truly desire. It's not going to happen. All right. And if you are making a $300,000 a year working for a company, you're working 60 something hours a week, right? You're working for that money. It's got to be some sort of balance. I think about videos all the time, but I never make that move. Make the move, man. Just break it. Do it. Do your first video and it's just going to keep coming and keep coming and keep coming. You got to be consistent. You got to look in the mirror and make a promise to yourself that I am going to do the work, right? Some people can't do the work because they don't have a reason big enough why to do the work, right? They think they have a big enough reason why. They think it's just money. You got to dig deep into money. What is it, right? Is it the kids, right? Is it the health of the kids? Is it the health of a parent? Right? Is it getting out of poverty of some sort, getting out of debt, right? Is it being able to travel to a certain place? What is it? It's got to be specific. Whatever that why is, it has to be specific. And once you narrow down what your why is, you'll be able to do anything. That same motivation that allows you to do what you do from 9 to 5 every single day. What is that motivation? It's got to be a little more than money, right? Take money out of the equation. What can't you do if you don't have the money, right? Because you can do anything else and make money. I mean, you can go to McDonald's and make money. It's not about making money. We all can make money, right? How much money? That's different. But that's according to the platform, right? That's according to the platform. We talk about money, man. You're right about the income. We was talking about that at work the other day. Absolutely. You could make money from anywhere, and income is important. The wages, you make them, you spend them. You make them, you spend them. And you get taxed all over the place. You get taxed when you get the paycheck. I talked about this 2 days ago. You get taxed when you pay the cell phone bill. You get taxed when you pay the car note. You're getting taxed like 8,000, 9,000 times on the same money. Get yourself a corporation, get yourself an LLC, learn how to make some profits and start writing off things. I'm telling you, I got 4 phones in this house, all under the business name. Write that off, right? These are little smart things. We don't have to be millionaires to figure out money. We don't have to be millionaires. You don't have to be making $1 million a year to have a really good life. I'm telling you, don't. Do not have to be making $1 million, right? You just got to be making enough per month. That's going to get you into a nice little position that you can start investing that money and putting it in different places and really, tackling your ideas, really tackling that knowledge, really tackling what you're good at. It's important stuff. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love this stuff. Any questions, thoughts, comments, concerns, throw them out there. Talk to. We can talk all night. At this point, if we got engagement, it's cool. I already said what I needed to say tonight. For those who missed it, we talked about exposure. We broke exposure down into 3 different areas. Molding exposure from, childhood, what you're being exposed to as far as, what your parents have done, and start paying attention to your current habits, and you'll start noticing there's some things that your parents used to do that you now do, right? Molding exposure. We talked about inspirational exposure, taking yourself to an event, right? Going to the Bentley dealership, going to what I think is called Airbnb. You and a whole bunch of friends, we rented out a $9 million mansion, and we got exposure to what that lifestyle is like. And it helped us to work. It helped us to start working harder because we knew that our work ethic wasn't equivalent to the things that we wanted, right? These are things you got to pay attention to. Is your work ethic equivalent to the things that you desire in life? We talked about projectile exposure. If you're an entrepreneur and you're in sales and people need to hear what you have to say, you got to start taking forward moving action. So those are the 3 things we talked about tonight, and we broke them down. Facts. It seems like I'm always trying to generate revenue. Exactly. The more you work, the more you save. Absolutely. Right. Another thing, because I'm getting up right now, right? I'm shooting this video. There was a time where I would shoot videos that I didn't know if I was going to make money or not, right? And that's a hard thing to do when you're like, damn, am I doing this what am I doing this for? That's what you start saying. But then once you really talking about something you're passionate about, it doesn't matter if you start making money right away. All that's going to matter is that you're actually doing it and you're getting your exposure. Gary Vee always says 1 is greater than 0, right? Because you never know who's watching your stuff. We got this thing says 9 people are watching it right now, right? There's some people that got like 5,000 live viewers right, at a time. I got 9, and I'm excited for that because that's 9 people that I might not know, 9 people that could help me get to the next level. One of them, I only need one of them to be someone who gets started with the Fusion Network, right? And I got another bonus for you guys. The first 10 people that get started with the Fusion Network in the course of the next 24 hours, those 10 people I'm going to get on the phone with, and we're going to talk for 30 minutes, and we're going to chop up your business. We're going to chop up your situation, and I'm going to help you have a breakthrough. I'm good at it. I'm going to work with you in 30 minutes to get that breakthrough, but you got to be one of the first 10 that get started in the course of the next 24 hours. I'll throw the link in there as soon as I'm done with this conversation. I'll throw the link in the comments, or you can go to MikeWilliamsPro.com/7K, or you can text New Habits, one word, to 38470. So back to my conversation here. But definitely, man, it's all about the work you put in, the quality of work. I mean, if you get a chance, I've seen you, Ibn, doing your live videos. That stuff is good, especially when you're at the job and you're talking about different things that I have no idea what you're talking about under the hood. You know, there's people who are looking for stuff like that, right? Make it a little sharper, a little more clearer, get you a nice little stand to put your phone on so you can not have to use the phone and do the work and drill down on what you're doing. Saving those videos, putting them out into the marketplace and showing people like, yo, I'm the man you need to talk to when it comes to fixing your car. Okay. The cool thing about Facebook, you ever get into a little, you ever really get serious about it, you get into some Facebook ads, and you can run ads locally like crazy, within a 10-mile radius of where you live, targeting people who need their car fixed, right? And that's just off the top of my head. So many things you guys can do. Tonight, your homework is to write down, what am I good at and what can I teach other people? And don't make it this big old ball out thing. Just write down a few things on a piece of paper and you say, you know what, I can make a few videos about this. I can write a few blog posts. Blogs are free. You can get a blog for free, right? And start really practicing just to getting yourself into the mode of doing it, right? Getting yourself into the groove of doing it. Start taking that action. What's up? Nate O'Brien just joined us. Nate O'Brien is I think he's 27 now or 26. He young though, right? But he's a multi-millionaire based off what we're talking about tonight. Just simply taking his ideas, putting them together, sharing them. That's all it is. An idea, put it together, share it. And you don't have to have all the information. You don't have to have all the details, right? It doesn't have to be this beautiful structure for you to make money. I shared a post today. It said that father's advice. It says, said something about following your heart, go out there and do it. He said, you don't have to be a professional to create a great product. He said, the creators of Google and Apple were not professionals. He said, but the people who built the Titanic were professionals. So if you can understand that real quick, like that was a nice little aha moment. Like, Google, Apple, multi-billion-dollar companies, Titanic sank the same night it went out, right? So you don't have to be perfect to do this stuff. I'm shooting a live video in my home office. This is not like perfect. This is not like a presentation here. This is me telling you what my ideal is and sharing it with you, giving you the link or the information on how to get the content I just shared with you. That's all this is. And you do it enough, more, as consistent, you be consistent and persistent with it. And you keep going and you keep going and you keep going. People will start recognizing you and they'll start attaching, your passion with you. So people attach motivational speaking with me because I do it so often, right? They'll start attaching, what am I saying? They'll start attaching Ibn with fixing cars, right? The 2 and 2 will be one. But you got to be out there in the marketplace. You got to put yourself out there. And that's that projectile exposure I was talking about. You got to get out there and get out there so often enough with the same simple message. You ever watch Trent Shelton, right? His message rarely changes. Same message. And that's the one I was talking about. Over 5,000 live viewers was watching his live stream maybe yesterday. I was like, 5,000 people were glued in on him. That's like having primetime TV. Man, the impact. He dropped the product, few 5 figures in a few hours, it's amazing, right? But you got to have vision, man. You got to think about it. You got to think long, deep about it, and just start doing stuff. Just focus. You got everything that it takes to get to the next level. Any more questions, comments, concerns, guys, talk to me. I love the engagement piece of this. This is so dope. This live streaming stuff. It's like my third live stream. I plan on doing one every single day, crushing the mic with motivation, the phrase you was looking for. Yeah, I think so. That's dope. Appreciate you guys. I really do. It's 10:30. We've been here for a little time. Everybody that hung in there with me, watching my sweaty forehead. That's what I'm going to be known for. Mike, the one who sweats when he talks, right? But it is what it is, though. That's me. And that's the cool thing about this social media is so intimate, right? That's what made Snapchat so popular, because it's just intimate. These little 10-second videos that you can upload in an instant and just boom, somebody can connect with you. It's just intimacy is what people are looking for. That's why the internet's winning. That's why social media is winning. Whether people are sharing truth, half truths, or false information, it's the intimacy of what they're sharing that is just like, that kills it, that crushes it. And if you can learn how to not care about other people's opinions and focus on sharing your message, right, as consistent as you possibly can, and watch your fan base grow, right? We got a few thousand here on Facebook, a few thousand on my fan page, a few thousand on Instagram, like almost 100 on Twitter. And that's not even a lot. That's just people who like me, right? A lot more people could like you, but the consistency is what matters. The consistency in your message, and you're going to crush it. Yo, I'm going to let you guys go. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. New habits, text new habits to 38470. That's new habits to 38470. You'll get on my text line. You get some updates and motivation, hit you instantly, a few days out of the week. You'll also be able to get access to those 3 PDFs that I'm sharing with people. And you'll also get access to join the Fusion Network for $97 one time now currently. After the next 30 days or 60 days, it's going to change. It's going to be a monthly fee. So you want to hop aboard. Currently, we're like 700 members strong. So it's pretty darn excited. Carlos, one love, man. Salute to you too. So it's pretty dope. So it's in your hands now, okay? It's in your hands now. You're ready to start learning, start implementing, start getting it done. Let's do the darn thing. It's your boy, Mike Williams. Peace. MikeWilliamsPro.com/7K. How you